generate some content. No, maybe not.
Helping what? The weather?
Oh, stream health. Welcome back. I probably want that muted.
Tell me the weather has something to do with the clouds.
Alright, oh, it should be live. Maybe. You can see the delay. Alright. Let's see if this works. Almost took the whole thing down.
Look, I got a partner here. It's bigger than me. It's taller than me. It's kind of scary.
Oh. Welcome to the live stream. We've kind of upgraded a little bit. Hopefully this is still... It should be better quality, and I don't think the stream should... it should be as reliable. It shouldn't lag or anything. But we'll see. Moving that front shoulder, it's going up and towards me, shortening my distance a little bit. Ta-da! There we go. Looks like we got some clouds rolling in. Yeah, we've got some serious bug problems where I live. Welcome to the live stream. Shooting is definitely going much better than yesterday. Definitely still plenty of room for improvement, but it's definitely coming along. Some of the little changes I made are a lot better today than they were, well, yesterday. So, yeah, progress. Progress is being made. So if you're wondering why I'm looking down, I actually have a laptop down here. And conveniently, after I shoot my shot, there's enough of delay that I can actually see the shot I just shot. Plus, I can see, if anybody leaves any comments or has any questions or anything. So feel free to ask, or, this whole live stream is just archery chatting while I just do my normal practice at home. So enjoy. And hopefully everybody has a good time. Was the best one of the set, but it's there. Somewhere in the 7 ring. Oh, also we're still working on another camera at the Target, but I wanted to take care of this because now I have freed up one of my cameras. So this is a second camera you're looking through now. Hopefully you notice the quality improvement. I'm thinking about sticking a much cheaper, much lower end camera down at the Target at some point once I figure it out. Like, it's tough. So like this is already going through like Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But to wire a camera all the way to this laptop is kind of crazy because it's 70 meters. So I have to figure out what I want to do, and I don't know if I can really pull off another, well, not another Wi-Fi, but another Wi-Fi camera down there when I'm already running this video through Wi-Fi. My internet connection is not that good here, so that might be might be a little bit in the future. So for right now, we just have this camera, but I think the quality and everything with it, audio-wise, should be pretty good too. So if anybody thinks the audio's really high, kind of let me know so I can gauge it. It should be pretty balanced. It shouldn't be too quiet, and it should be somewhere right in the middle. I would think, based on what the information between the stream and the camera is telling me. So, yeah, this is kind of like a round 2 test run. All right, that was a nice shot to finish off that end. So one end down, I'm going to go and pick the arrows up now, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. To the target. All right, I'm back. Huh. So far I'm liking the Chef Vandenberg pin. I can't recall off the top of my head what size I got. I'd have to look. But I don't know. I feel like mine's nice and visible. Obviously, I'm sure you can't see it from here. But I was using the Shibuya sight pin before, and it was fine. But since it was just since the pin was so small, I did feel like I was moving around the target a lot. Where this one is so big, just like the aperture itself, maybe not the dot itself. The fiber optic pin is pretty small, but I feel like it's nicely in the middle, and I don't have to move around the target so much before I shoot. I just all right, right there, boom. I'd have to see though. I think I got the larger size. I don't know if that was the .29. I'd have to take a look, but then again, it may not be a sight pin for everybody. I stuck with the regular Shibuya sight pin for probably like 8 years and never changed. I did try out at one point like lenses when the Titan scopes came out, and they had the Titan lenses. I tried those. I wasn't a fan of lenses, but I know some people like I think Brady uses lenses. He loves his Shrewd lens. Well, I guess his Shrewd sight pin, and then I think it has like a clear target lens. But anyway, there's still a lens involved. I can't stand shooting with those, but he finds them really fantastic. So I don't know. It might just be like a preference thing for you, where maybe you need a bigger, dot in the middle, and maybe a smaller pin. I don't know. I don't know if you've tried other pins in the past. Uh, like when I first started out, I had a couple like real basic pins made out of plastic, and then there was just a fluorescent red dot. It was just painted on in the center. I think one of them was actually a sticker, and then I moved to the Shibuya one, and then I had that for forever, and now I just went to this chef one, and for me that's been great. But I've been also staying in like the same realm of sight pins that I'm used to. Like I've always just had dot sight pins. I've never found any. It wasn't useful for me to go and try to use the lens ones. They just weren't working for me, but they do work for other people. So this might be a similar case where maybe the chef one isn't working the best for you, and maybe a different sight pin would be better. Oh, look at this. Aha, I have my information. Yeah, I bought the right hand .029 in red. So, yep. And then I actually still have this is the old Shibuya one that I was using, which is fine, but you compare the two. The Shibuya one, it's definitely not bright because it's only this little dot, but it's slightly bigger when you put them next to each other. So yeah, I don't know if you're somebody that probably went from like a larger dot, like such as this, but that was also illuminated, like a thicker fiber optic, then yeah, I could see how the chef one could feel really small, and I never really noticed that. For me, because of the fiber optic on this sight pin, it sticks out on my target and other targets so well that I wasn't really worried about the size of the dot because I could just see it so much better. So interesting though, and that's a very important thing though, because you need to be able to see your pin so you can put your your sight on the target so that you can hit the target you wanna hit. So very interesting. I don't know if that was exactly helpful for you, but yeah, I don't know. My best advice would be maybe you need to go and you might have to try another sight pin if that one's giving you a lot of trouble, especially since you did get the bigger fiber size. But again, too, that's kind of how like there's a variety of there's a large variety of equipment in archery, and most of it does the same thing, but it has different routes to get there, and everybody seems to utilize it in a slightly different way. What was it? You got a bunch of shooters shooting like just with bows. You got a whole bunch of shooters shooting formula. And then you have like a whole bunch of shooters still shooting ILF, and companies that haven't changed from that, because there's some shooters that really like, how the formula bows shoot. But there's a lot of other people that are like, no, I really like how the ILF bows shoot. I know I personally have shot both, and sure, I shot an HPX, which was a newer, well, not newer. It was only the second version of a formula riser released. But I have to say I like the ILF setup at this point a lot better. I haven't shot a newer Hoyt formula bow, but I don't know. I'm very happy with how ILF works with me, and how how the bow feels when it shoots. So I don't know. There's a lot of personal preference, and sometimes you got to spend a little money to get it right. But once you do, then you feel really comfortable with your equipment. So I don't know. Maybe try out a friend's equipment a little bit if that's possible. Or, I don't know if you're in the U.S. or not, but if you are, then I would say if you go to any like big indoor shoots or outdoor shoots, if Lancaster Archery is there, they probably bring a lot of sight pins with you. You could ask to see if you can at least check them out. Like, I'm sure they won't let you go put them on your bow, but at least you can, like, you know, look at them either through the packaging or if they have like display ones or whatever, and you can maybe get a better idea, or you know, maybe an alternative sight pin for you. Other than that, I don't know. Outside of the U.S., I'm not sure. I guess it would be, you would have to go to a large archery shop that carries, you know, at least some quantity of target archery products. Little quick on that one. Okay, so yeah, so you definitely have tried a fair variety of sight pins. You've tried at least as many as I have, maybe even more. I haven't tried the D-cut one. I have tried the Titan, both the regular, I guess, I don't know, it's the regular and the micro. They had two. I actually bought both of them. I sold them. I was like pretty much immediately not a fan. I was like, ugh, what is this? But yeah, no, there's some people that love those Titan scopes. So yeah, I don't know. Give the Shibuya one a try again if you haven't, and then maybe switch to the Chef. For me, going from the Shibuya to the Chef, the Chef was as bad as where the Chef was poor in. It matched the best moments of the Shibuya one, and then the other spots where the Shibuya was just the same, the Chef just blew it away. Like in low light stuff, the Chef scope for me was as good, if not better, than the Shibuya sight. And then in places where it was bright and the target was bright, the Chef scope just, you know, was brighter, so I could actually see it when my target face was too bright, and it would normally like glare out my Shibuya sight. So I don't know. Yeah, you got to try everything, and then see what works for you. We're under attack. Under attack by bugs here. Alright, still worked out. I moved a little bit. Got that one a little bit over. Quite. Nope. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, that was better. There we go. Nice and easy. Alright. I'm going to head down and pick up some arrows. That went pretty well. We'll be back with some arrows so we can shoot again. Yeah, so yep, that you got it perfect on that. So yeah, on some of the shots, my front shoulder, I guess it'll go like up and back, and yeah, it'll make it too long for me to click, and then I get stuck. So that's one of the things I'm working on. The other thing was my wrist and my hand, because I wasn't keeping some tension up here, and what happened was my hand was like kind of folding in, and then my wrist would bend in as well, would bend like that more. Well, maybe not that extreme, but still, it would bend in, and then I wouldn't be able to use my back that well. So yeah, it's those two major things that I'm working on currently. Got to hold that shoulder, and then got to make sure I hold this hand and wrist properly, so that when I get back, to my anchor, that I can actually use my back to finish the shot. No, I have not tried Jake's method. Well, my advice for arrow clearance, I would make sure that your veins are situated correctly. You should have one that's sticking out towards you, and then the other two should be pretty down and then up, and it should be avoiding most of your rest and your plunger. Other than that, if you have like an arrow stiffness or weakness problem, like the arrows are too weak or too stiff, that could be causing a clearance issue too, possibly. But yeah, I don't know, that's my best advice for that. The only other thing you could do is try to like spray that section of your riser down with some like powder, like a foot powder almost, and then that way you can see when you shoot if there's any other additional clearance problems. You can kind of see if your arrow or your veins are hitting into anything. I don't know. That's what I would do in the past when I had clearance problems. Usually it came to I usually solved it because it was either a tuning problem on my end, or I had arrows that were too weak or too stiff, and they were like well out of the range for that bow that I was using, and that caused the issue.
Keep going.
All right, going pretty good. Today was already a nice improvement over yesterday. So I might be taking off tomorrow from the live stream due to weather. So we'll see what goes on there. But hopefully on Sunday, the weather's better and the shooting will be like really up to par by then. We'll see. Just got to keep practicing. But anybody that's curious, I'm trying to do this live stream every day. There is good weather, so as long as it's not raining out, and I am not at a tournament or like some archery event that I can't stream, then I'm going to try to do this type of stream every single day when possible. So hopefully everybody's enjoying. Basically, we're just hanging out. People are asking questions, either to me or just as a group. But yeah, just like an archery hangout video live stream thing that I'm doing almost every day. So yeah, that's the basis of it. We'll get a little fancier, I guess, as time goes on and as if the interest in this actually continues. Right now we have 9 people on, which is pretty good. I've been keeping track. I've been trying to do this every day so I can get an idea on how many people are coming out to watch this. So, yeah. Thanks for being here. Huh. All right. Yeah, I'm using the KSL. The KSL tab by AAE. Mine's a large, but no, I haven't had any problems with it pinching the knock. I do cut out my own leather for it though, so that may be a bonus compared to the ones that are cut by AAE. But other than that, no, I haven't had any problems with that. Let's see. Otherwise, I do make sure that my top finger is not really putting pressure, but it's definitely closer to the knock than my bottom two are. Of course, everything looks like it's all together by the time you get to full draw. But yeah, no, I have not had any of those issues. Very interesting. And yes, yeah, alignment is pretty much the whole battle. I think I've come to the conclusion. But you got to get all the parts right. Like some shots, I'll have an all right release, but then my shoulder didn't hold. So yeah, I would say it's just a matter of practicing. You got to practice everything. But like you work on one aspect of your shot, that improves, and then you have to work on another aspect of your shot, and you just keep working on little parts of it all the time. And I feel like that's where I've made the most improvement. Like it helps to have a coach though, so I do have a coach, and I've definitely benefited from that. That was my bow arm. it also helps to know like what you did wrong though, kind of every shot, or like have an idea. Like that one, my bow arm was definitely not exactly in the position it should have been in, and it was definitely moving some. But I felt like the rest of it was all right given the circumstances. So, you know, that's something I need to focus on some more. Now, that one went a lot better. Ooh, looking a little dark here. Let me go and fix that. All right, brightened it up a little bit. Oh, I wish all ranges had Wi-Fi. So this is actually at my house. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky that I have the distance here to shoot 70 at my home. Wi-Fi is pretty good. We'll see if it's good enough for 2 cameras in the future. I'm hoping to stick one down at the target. Yeah, I'll have to check out. I watched some of Jake's live stream stuff, and they are very good. I'll have to check out some of his recommendations, though, for better alignment and form, because I am always interested in new ways of, improving my shot. So let's see what else. All right, that looks like it for now. Let me go down to the target. We're going to pick up some arrows, and I will be back. Alright, we are back. The sun doesn't quite know what it wants to do with itself. I will try without the sunglasses. Watch, it'll... Ah, see, look, it's coming back out now. Tension in the... Best way to hold the bow without tension in the fingers. Alright, so basically you want to make sure that the grip is putting all the tension into like this section of your hand, preferably lower. I don't know if you can quite see it on the camera, but it is a bit red down here because all the pressure of the bow is in this section down low for me. That's what I was told. That's where I was told it needs to be by my coach. And for me, from years of doing it other ways that weren't always so pretty, I find that is the most consistent way for the bow to be held under pressure. Because if you're up high, I find that the shot's not as balanced. I've had a habit in the past of letting my hand roll around around the side of the grip, and that's not helpful either because then you usually like cant your bow one way or the other. So yeah, trying to get that pressure, that tension. Wow, the streaming software failed pretty hard there. Sorry for the dropout of the stream. So let's see. Basically, you want the pressure in your hand to be low. For the most part, I would say all the top archers are doing about the same thing, maybe with slight variations based on if they have like some putty on their bow and things like that. You probably don't want the pressure to sit up high. I found that to be really inconsistent for me. And then you also don't want your hand too far, to the right or to the left, because then you end up canting the bow in that direction as well. It looks like we're back on the live stream. So hopefully that answered your question. I'm sure somebody has probably a better explanation of it out there, and maybe in the future I'll put together a video with that once I make sure that how I'm doing it is pretty standard amongst everybody. Form's a tough thing because basically there's some basic concepts that are the same, but how people go about actually using those concepts sometimes varies very drastically. So I try not to get too much into the form of things, really, because there's a lot of randomness there. But yeah, so already I have my hand set, and then when I draw back, there'll just be pressure right in here, and that'll be I don't know, that's perfect for me, and I can control the bow really easily that way, and I can keep the pressure in that spot throughout the shot. And if it moves, that usually means that I'm probably like collapsing in my shoulder or something like that. So it's also a good way to get nice feedback from your shot. Very good. Two in a row. An arrow got away. Not quite. Ooh, a shot process defined for me. Yes and no. So I don't have like a series of steps that I'm thinking about every single time. Things are pretty automatic for me at this point. I'm just mentally keeping in mind like one particular thing every shot to work on, and it's usually based around this front shoulder. I don't try to think of more than one thing at once. In the beginning, when I was first starting, when I first went to my coach, it was actually only a couple months ago. We started off with some basic, like steps for things. But yeah, recently, and I guess like last month and a half, if not, yeah, we've stepped away from that because I have the concept. I just need to fine tune some of the things I'm doing, like not allowing that front shoulder to move, or making sure that I'm keeping tension in my, top finger and in my thumb, so I'm not letting my wrist roll in. Little things, nothing really big. Because like even the groups themselves aren't bad. Like I'm working on stuff right now, and I'm still basically shooting reds and in, with some of these ends being nines and tens with only like an 8 or 2. So you know, result wise, it's not bad. Even though I'm not really in it for the results, I'm in it for the good quality shots every single time. But no, process definitely good, especially if you're learning. But I don't know. I've been doing this for. And definitely, I'm not trying to say the whole having like a whole process and steps is bad. It's not bad. You should probably do that. I just at this point in time, I was told that that's not really necessary for me. Hey, I'll believe him. He shoots very well and has shot very well. So we'll see where it goes, and I'll keep you guys updated. At some point, I'm going to do a video at his range and at his club. So I think that should be a lot of fun. And then you guys actually get to meet him, at least unofficially. That one wasn't as great. Alrighty. Okay, let's go and pick up some arrows. See you guys next time, and as always, happy shooting. Thanks for chatting with you. It was fun.
Thanks.